Before we begin Tarnished, grab yourself a biscuit. Or hell, maybe something even stronger. A dark roast to stay sharp, a whiskey to blur the existential dread. Honestly, dealer's choice, because this isn't a tale of valor. It's a tale of ambition in a bathrobe, paranoia in polished boots, and a man who thought that knowing things was the same as doing things. Gideon Ofnir, the All-Knowing, a title so self-important it practically needs its own echo. You know, you remember him, the voice behind the Roundtable doors. The scholar in the war room, always a step ahead. Or, so he'd like to have you believe. He plays the mentor, the steward of truth, a guiding light in the fog of the lands between. But even flickering candles throw some shady shadows. He doesn't fight. He doesn't quest. He doesn't brave the shattering or chase grace like the rest of us. No. And Gideon collects rumors, secrets, half-truths, and he hoards them like a dragon with anxiety issues, a curator of gossip with delusions of grandeur. Welcome to the rise and fall of Sir Gideon Ofnir, or as he calls himself, the All-Knowing. Spoiler alert, he wasn't. When you first meet him, he sizes you up like a substitute teacher who's been tenure-trapped since the shattering. All posture and no warmth. Allow me a word of advice as your senior. Translation? You're not one of his. Not yet. Just another tarnish swinging around a butter knife hoping it'll pierce godhood. And him? He's the clever scholar, the advisor, the kind of guy who turns every game into chess. Even though you're the one who showed up with the Uno cards. I thought we were playing Uno. What a jerk. But bring him a great rune, and suddenly it's wine o'clock and the good china's all out. Now he's generous. Now he's name-dropping like he's hosting a demigod dinner party. Godric, Radon, Rykard, Morgoth, Renala. Not just legends, just hurdles in his spreadsheet. Each one a variable in a world he's trying to chart, control, and curate. He learns of Mikola, golden charm, and terrifying love. He pieces together millennia, undefeated and rotting. He charts the stars that ghosted Ronnie, and the flame that once devoured Mesmer. And of course, he watches you, the tarnished who keeps doing the impossible like it's part of your morning routine. I guess it's right between brushing your teeth and burning the Erd tree. They're all just entries in his mental Rolodex, aisled under threats I hope you'll handle. But Gideon, he starts to realize something. Something truly terrifying. He's not in control. The world's changing, and it didn't RSVP. With every great rune you return, he shifts just a little more. Less mentor, and more like a man watching his chessboard catch on fire. He keeps talking, keeps guiding, but every word sounds like someone trying to narrate a story they're no longer in. You see, because here's the thing. Gideon, he never wanted to become the Elden Lord. He just wanted to decide who got to be. The Roundtable Hold, it was never a sanctuary. Never. It was a war room. And Gideon, its librarian general. Its spy master with a scepter. All-knowing wasn't just vanity. It was a business model. If you know everything, you don't have to fight. You just have to steer the bloody boat. But then boats don't really care who's reading the map when the sea catches on fire, now does it? And the Erd tree burns. But you press forward, and Gideon, he panics. You burned the Erd tree, didn't you? Not exactly the composed professor anymore, huh? Now he's pacing, and those mutters sound a lot like wheezing, and for the first time he realizes something unthinkable. You are not predictable, you're not controllable, and you might win. And worst of all, you might do it without him. You find him in Lindell, a city buried in ash, a monument to ambition turned corpse. No ropes now, just desperation. He's dressed in his war regalia, trying to cosplay with reverence. He doesn't greet you. He opens with a spell he didn't even earn, just copied, like some kid cheating off someone else's test. He hurls incantations like a man hurling trivia in an argument, hoping one of them will stick. However, none of them do. But history has no patience for latecomers. Gideon Ofnir, the all-knowing, dies without a revelation, but with delusion. He thought that knowledge would shield him, that secrets would shelter him, that watching was the same as acting. But in the lands between, action carves the path, and Gideon, he never took a single step. You cut him down. He dies not in pain, but in disbelief. The all-knowing is silenced. His helm full of ears and eyes is useless. His scepter, cracked. His library of secrets, closed. And here's the poetry of it all. When Gideon glimpsed into the will of Queen Merica, he shuddered in fear. He saw the end coming. He knew it. But knowing something isn't the same as stopping it. And Gideon, for all his schemes, never learned the difference. In the end, he wasn't a villain. He wasn't a hero. He was just a man who thought he could outsmart the throne, only to learn too late that the throne doesn't negotiate. It demands. It demands blood. It demands will. And most of all, it demands action. And so, Tarnished, as you sip your drink and let the credits roll on this sorry tale, remember, Gideon Ofnir knew everything, except when to stop watching and start fighting. If you like this dive into why this world is always a walking tragedy, hit that like button, drop a comment for your favorite doomed NPC, and subscribe for more. Oh yeah, and grab a snack. You've definitely earned it. Because next time, we're digging into something else. Until then, may your burdens be light, your runes be many, and your knowledge earn the heart.